yesterday we started with teaching a lesson, a prose. So today we'll try teaching a poem. Is that fine? And that's the reason I have posted. I hope all would have seen that. I had posted a PDF of the poem The Brook by Lucy Diamond.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yeah. So this is just to help those who don't follow our book. So only for that reason, I hope they would have gone through it. So how to teach a poem? So definitely we need one introduction. Now, why is the introduction so important? Can someone tell me that?
To get an idea
Prepares
of
the
what
student's mind.
Yes, right. Anybody else? Okay, so to grab,
previous knowledge,
Enjoy the nature, ma'am.
okay, okay,
gain the
okay.
knowledge and to enjoy the rhyming song also.
Yes, okay. So for whether actually, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Actually, whether it is a prose or a poem or a grammar topic, whichever topic we are covering, giving an introduction to that when we are starting something new, you should always give an intro. This is just to grab the child's attention for us to know what they know, what is their pre-knowledge, and also to make them, interested in our activity. Only when there is interest, they'll listen properly and they'll be attentive and they will, get whatever we want them to know. So an introduction has to be an excellent introduction. There is a saying in English, well begun is half done. So it is like that. Introduction does that kind of a work. If it is interesting, children will listen to you and children will be able to understand. So here we have this poem. You want to say something, ma'am? Okay. Okay, fine. So introduction is so very important. Now, here we'll first discuss about this. How can we introduce this poem? The word brook is not a known name for known word for class 3. They would have heard of sea, they would have heard of river and lake, but not brook. Our children, class 3, a child of class 3 would not have heard that word. That's not a familiar word for him. So first, we have to explain that meaning. And when we start introduction, when we give an introduction for this, we can relate it to something to do with water, because it's a water body. So what kind of an introduction can we give?
We can ask them sources of water.
Yes, we can ask that. Yes. Correct.
What do we drink when we are thirsty?
Yes. Okay. Great. Okay.
Sources of water.
Importance. Okay. Fine. So anything to do with water, we can start with. We can, and a boy or a girl or child who is in Chennai, we can easily ask, have you ever been to Marina Beach? Because there wouldn't be anyone who would not have. So you can start a conversation like that. And we can ask, have you, when they say yes, they have been, they would want to say many things. You can keep asking, what did you see there? Now, we want the answer water, but that will be the last answer that will come from them. They will talk of sand, they'll talk about snack sellers, they'll talk about merry-go-round, a pony, all that. And then finally, they'll say there is water also. So that's how children would be. So once we get that water answer from them, then we can slowly talk about various water bodies. We can talk of sea, we can talk of river, ocean, lake, stream, and then we say that brook is a small stream. Now, Durga ma'am, please mute. Okay. So, introductions, therefore, is so important. Once we introduce that concept or that particular topic to the child about water, there will be many questions. There will be many will want to share many things because it's something very familiar to them. They would want to say about, you can always ask about, have they ever gone to a village where maybe the grandparents stay? You would have water bodies there, maybe a pond or a lake. So need not be a beach. It could be anything. And once we get the answer that we are looking from, then we kind of slowly we take from there. discuss about the poem. This poem is, first we start with the name of the poem, The Brook. So you can write on the board also, The Brook, with T as capital, B capital. And definitely whenever we talk about the name of the lesson, name of the poem, we must also mention the author. Like if it is a story, definitely talk about the author. Here, it's a poet. So, The Brook, written by Lucy Diamond. Let the child know about it, and you can write and show. Like, I hope you can see my board. So,
Namaste, ma'am.
Namaste. Yeah. So I hope my board is clear to all.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Just want to tell you that writing that on the board makes so much of a difference. So the child understands, he will see it, and you can make the child read. Brook is a new word, so you can make many of them read about it. Then talk about the poet. It's written by Lucy Diamond, a lady. She is an English author. She's written other books also. Just a brief is enough. Class 3, we need not get too much into it. As we scale up, class 4, class 5, we can give a better intro about the poet also. After that, we come to the third segment. Now we recite the poem. First, we recite the poem. Let children listen to it. Only after the first reading, you make children read. So, I'll just quickly read The Brook by Lucy Diamond. I like to watch the merry brook go rippling on its way. It sings me such a happy song all through the summer day. It tells me tales of many things as on the grass I lie, about the hills from which it came and where it goes and why. And if I had a tiny boat, a sailing I would go and hasten with the brook to join the river deep and slow. So the first time when we sing, if for 1 and 2 you can try to find a more catchy tune or something like that, because it's more for recitation. But from class 3, we have been doing a detailed study of the poem. In fact, this year onwards, there is a change to that also. Even in 1 and 2, they will be learning some aspects of poem. So as we take poem for class 1 and 2, we'll talk about that. So here, first recitation is just for them to get their attention, to make them listen to us. Then we slowly, talk about it. You can make children recite it along with you. So you can read one line and make them recite. Just ask them to repeat after you and do it the entire. It's only a small poem. Just do it that way. After that, we can start explaining. After that, we can start explaining the poem. So here, how will you explain? The poem is about nature. We already said that the poem is about nature. Now, what is the first line says, I like to watch the merry brook. There are two new words there. Merry, fun, happiness. Brook, small stream. So the new words are given in the book. So let them just read it, underline it, and know it. Go rippling on its way. Again, another new word. The water is flowing, making little sound and gurgling sound and small waves being formed. So it sings me such a happy song. So the speaker is a small girl, a little girl, who is saying that it sings me such a happy song. Happy song. What is this happy song here? The sound of the water flow. The sound of the water that's flowing through the brook. That's what is called as happy song. That means she's enjoying. That shows she's enjoying. It sings me. What is it here?
The brook.
The brook. Very good. Thank you, ma'am.
The brook.
Yes. So you can, every line by line, you can talk about it and you can explain all through the summer day. We can see that the girl is there in the picture also. How nicely she's enjoying nature there, nature, the flow of the brook. Second stanza talks about, it tells me tales of many things. Now, here we have a word. Anuja ma'am, you want to say something? Okay, I guess it's by mistake. So here we have a word, tales. Now, there is another tale that children are familiar with. Tail.
Animal part. Animal.
Yes. Part of an animal, yes. And body part of an animal. And this tale is story. So you can also talk about the homophone there. Homophones will be taught later as part of grammar, but as we are coming across that, we can explain that also. So yesterday I was mentioning that children can be asked to underline and write things on the in that book itself, so that when they read that page, when they read that lesson or the poem, they will remember it and they will also learn it. So same thing, we can make them just write there itself, tale, story. It's a new word for them, or some may not know about it. So you can just make them do that. As on the grass I lie, about the hills from which it came and where it goes and why. So speaker is saying, Brooke is telling her stories about the hills from where the brook started, brook has come, and where it is going. It's going to join a river. So brook is actually flowing from a higher level to a lower level, to the plain level. So it's telling stories to me. That's what this speaker is saying. Now, sings me, tells me, all of them are very important to remember. And we'll come to that later. And the third stanza says, and if I had a tiny boat, a sailing I would go and hasten with the brook to join the river deep and slow. Again, we have here one new word, hasten, moving hurriedly. And you can make the child underline words like tiny, or there itself, tiny opposite huge. Because in class 3 classwork notes, we may not be giving opposites and singular, plural and all that. So whenever we see something like that, little different or important words like this, we can make them underline then and there. They are aware of the word, but it's always better to make them do it again. So tiny, just underline, make them underline and write opposite huge. Give examples, give frame sentences. Tiny, ant is tiny. Elephant is a huge animal, whatever. Just to explain the word. Then what is the speaker wishing? She wishes to have a boat so that she could go sailing along the brook and then finally join the river. That's her wish. So here again we have the last line, river deep and slow. What is the opposite of deep? Shallow. So you can explain that, deep opposite shallow, make them right there itself. Slow, fast, slow opposite fast. So all these words, some may be familiar to them, some may not be. We can just make them write. Let that habit of writing on the page be there, so that when they read this poem, they will also read those words. That will be very helpful from the exam point of view. Also for understanding an exam point of view. So this is about, explaining the poem, reading and explaining line by line. We can explain stanza wise. We can explain. We should mention which is a stanza. By third standard, they know what is a stanza. That's why I didn't talk about that. So stanza 1, stanza 2, stanza 3. How we have paragraph in prose, we have stanza in poem. That differentiation we can repeat. We can tell about it. And once the meanings are done, the general idea of the poem is explained, then we can get into some more important details. like identifying rhyming words. Now, rhyming words, they are aware from UKG, they are doing bad cat, mat, and all that. So they they know the sound last in the ending sound. It's just that we have to just tell them what it is, how to find it out. So rhyming word would be the last word of a line, which is sounding the same. So here, can someone tell me the first stanza? What is a pair of rhyming word that we have?
Way and day.
Yeah, correct. Way, day. And second stanza?
Lie, why, ma'am?
Lie, why. Thank you. And the third one? Third one? Go slow.
Go slow.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Go slow.
Yes, ma'am. Right, ma'am. Correct, ma'am. So we have way, day, lie, why, go slow. We have those pairs of rhyming words. We have to make the child identify that. That's a very important activity, actually. They should be able to identify. Here we need to mention that if you see a word which is sounding similar, but it is in the middle of the line, that won't be counted as rhyming. Like we have sings and things, that's not rhyming. It has to be only at the last. Yeah, that point we can explain. Now, generally, you will always have some, poetic device in the poem. Figure of speech, we call it. So some may have simile, some may have metaphor. Here we have, can someone guess?
Personification.
Excellent. Thank you so much, ma'am. Yes, personification. We have to tell what is personification when a non-human being is given a human trait. Some human attributes are given to it. We call it personification. So here the brook is treated like a friend. That's why this is tells me, sings me. So you can explain those words, and then that's how we have found it out. Now, class 3 level, the poetic device won't be tested as such, but do mention about it. Let the child be familiar with it. Let the child know that there is something called a figurative language, which is not the literal meaning, little above that, little beyond that. And that familiar, I mean, we are just familiarizing the child to these words like metaphor or personification. We also have a little bit of alliteration here. We have, what is it? Such sings me, such as happy songs, sings such. So that also we can talk about. So if poetic devices, whatever is used, you can just give a mention about it. Need not give a question or something like that, just for their understanding. Then, so we come to the, we are done with the the poem as such. Please make the child recite. It is not possible to make everybody recite on the same day, but give turns, and maybe row wise or somebody from this row, and whom you should ask, who may not have listened to you or was not so attentive or whatever. So you could make them do it. Recitation is very important. That will tell you where they stand in pronunciation. So that's such an important aspect. And whenever they recite, make it a point, please, to read the name of the poem and the poet in the beginning. So, The Brook by Lucy Diamond. Then only you start with the poem. At the end of it, you can give a brief summary of what this poem is all about. So, it's about nature. The speaker is a small girl, a little girl, who is enjoying the brook flowing. The sound made by the water, she's saying as happy song. Yeah, that shows she's liking it. Then she imagines that the brook is telling her stories about the hills from where it has come and where it's going. The brook is going to join the river. So it's telling stories. So all that shows that the speaker, the little girl here, is enjoying the beauty of the brook, beauty of nature, enjoying these. And also the poem ends with a wish. She's saying, if I had a tiny boat. She would have gone sailing. She would have gone hurriedly with the brook to join the river. The river is deep and slow. So that means river is bigger than this and it's not moving with the same force as this brook is. It's more calm. It's kind of calm. So you can explain, give a brief summary about it as much as possible. We should, give the summary and explain. And every time we talk about the poem, please talk about the name as well as the poet. So this is a small poem. We can finish it one period. But definitely in the next period also, you just give a recap, because generally in lessons we do a recap whenever, because lessons are bigger, we may need more than one period to finish it. So the second period we do a quick recap of whatever was done the previous day. Here also we should try, even if we finish, please do that, so that they kind of know. The repetitive talk about it, listening to it will help them understand it better, and that will remain with them better. So that's about the poem part. Now, what are the activities that we can do here? One is group recitation. So you can make them in, say, groups of 4 or 5, and then you can ask them to recite it together. You can make it however you feel, in the sense, it is not that the entire poem has to be recited by one group. You can make them one stanza, one person, like a wave. They can one will stop, the other will start automatically. Generally that's what I do. So everybody gets excited when the other team will stop and the next will start. So some exciting thing you can just create. But recitation, do give importance to recitation, and please do make them recite. That is very important. And recitation always should begin with I'm just repeating again and again, the name of the poem and the person, the poet. Now, if we come to the second page of whatever I had shared, that is page number 55 here, it has some questions. Now, we have to do the questions also in class and do the classwork. So here, it's very nice that actually they have given a MCQ type of question. Sometimes they may not give like that. Sometimes in some poems, they will give a fill in the blank type of questions. So it's always better we have a variety. Let the child be exposed to all different types of questions. It could be a MCQ, it could be a proper question answer, it could be in terms of fill in the blanks, whatever it is. So here, shall we discuss quickly? The merry brook sings a happy song to the speaker. Options are about the hills from where it came, throughout the day in summer, about the deep and slow river. What is the answer there?
Throughout the day in summer.
Yes. Thank you. Throughout the day in summer. As the speaker lies on the grass, the brook tells the tales of her joining the river as it goes rippling on its way. Second option, the beauty of the summer days. Third, the hills from which it came and where it goes.
The hills from which it came.
The
Yes.
hills from which it
The
came.
hills from
Third option,
where it
yes.
goes.
The hills from which it came and where it goes. The speaker wishes to have a tiny boat because she wants to move hurriedly with the brook to join. That's the answer. Yes. That's the answer. Correct. So, in the class also you can make, child read out all the options. Another person you can ask, so that more involvement is there. We have to give answer the following also, question answers type. So first question, I just want to discuss the first one. Does the speaker enjoy watching the brook? What makes you think so? Does the speaker enjoy? Yes, or no? Yes. Yes, of course. No doubt about that. Now, when we write this question, please write the answer as a sentence. Yes. Yes, with Y capital, then after yes, comma, then yes, the speaker enjoys watching the brook. If we give the sentence form kind of an answer, then only they'll realize that they have to write, whenever they say a yes or no, they should not be writing just one yes or no. It is in English, they have to learn to write sentence answers. So that's the reason I just took this question actually, just to tell that is important, that they write the full sentence. If it's a no also, I mean, not for this particular question, but in general, I'm saying whether yes or no, it has to be in sentence form. That habit we have to develop. So we have to repeat on that. Second question is more of a general thing. Why do you think the speaker wishes to join the deep and slow river with the brook? What could be the answer? It's kind of imagine. If we can just imagine, we can maybe to see the river, maybe to see the way the path or the way or the path taken by the brook. It could be anything. Yeah. So anything that you wish to ask from this? Any doubt? Teachers, can I just get one answer, please?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So now I was just mentioning about the activities. One I mentioned as group recitation. Another could be art integrated activities. We can give some art integrated activities. Children love to make chart, draw something, color and all that. So something to do with that, you can integrate it. You can ask them to, scenery of some scenery or a river flowing down from the hills or something like that. They could either draw or stick pictures, but don't limit to that. Don't restrict yourself to that. After that, you can just say that, on the other side of the chart, you could write paragraph about river or anything to do with maybe nature or whatever. So that they get excited to do that also. And this way, we also develop the habit of writing in paragraph. So paragraph writing is also encouraged this way. So some art integrated activities can be conducted, especially for poems. Then we can also try and integrate it with some subject. Now, this particular thing can easily be integrated to do which subject?
EVS, ma'am.
EVS, exactly. Yes. So it's talking about water and brook and all that. So we can give some activity related to water bodies or maybe rivers of Tamil Nadu or rivers of India or anything. They can again, like it could be a chart work. They can do some sticking picture and things like that. Along with that, give something to be written. Not just like rivers of India or rivers of this thing, Tamil Nadu I'm talking about. It could be any topic. We can even talk about water pollution because water bodies these days are getting polluted. So what we should do, they can stick pictures of that. So anything to do with EVS, we can just try and integrate it and get some activity done so that children enjoy it. They learn things more this way when we are giving some activities. They are very excited to do that. They are very excited to show it also. The very next day, sometimes we'll give 1 week's time, but still, many would come and submit the activity the very next day. So we can capture that enthusiasm in them and make them do something to do with our topic so that they learn that more. Okay, so that's about poem. I hope things are fine. Is there any doubt or can I move ahead, please?
Please move ahead, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Okay. Now, I have a question for you. Quick question, just 5 minutes. I have given the PDF to you for those who don't have the book. I wish that you do this in less than 5 minutes. The question is frame and extract question. What do you mean by that? That is any 4 lines or 2 lines you can take from the poem and then base your questions on that. Okay. So 3 questions can be there. Small 3 questions. You can even we generally ask, name the poem, poet. So apart from that, other than that, you can have something more also. So your time starts now.
So one annotation, one poem and the 3 questions.
This poem, any 4 lines you could take and write
3 questions.
Frame 3 questions quickly. We'll just start with the grammar topic, nouns and gender. So how do we introduce this nouns and gender? We don't have nouns and gender in class 1. We start the last year and the present year I'm talking about. So we start from class 2 gender. So how do we actually start? Which way can we start? Actually, what is gender? From English grammar point of view, what is gender? Okay.
Male and a female, different. No?
Yes. Yes.
Masculine, feminine, common,
This is the
Yes. Okay.
neutral
Now,
gender.
yeah. As far as, from a very rough definition, we can say that gender is a term or a word which is used to differentiate between male and female. So first we start, when we are starting this topic of gender, we only talk of masculine and feminine gender, male and female. So how we can start? We can make our children, we can so I hope my board is clear. Just write it to a class 2 child. We can always ask how to talk about this topic gender. We can start with who's there at home. Definitely they'll come with father, mother. Some may say brother.
uncle also they can.
Yeah,
Uncle.
definitely. Sister. Some may have grandfather at home. Grandmother. Uncle, aunt. Just remember to write them in one column, and then we can say, children, we know what is boy, what is girl. Okay, so these are all boys. These are all boy words. Then he words. So we can explain that way. These are all girl words or she words. So we have two types of gender. All he words or boy words are called male words. And all the girl words or she words are called female. So male word, female word. All these male are called nothing but masculine gender. Pronounce it enough times so that they know, because it's a new word for them. Here it will be feminine gender. Yeah. So this is one way we can explain and introduce it to them. It's easy because they will always relate it to their family, their home. So it's easy for them to understand that way. In some schools are co-education, so there itself you can talk about girl, boy. Some are only boys school or girls. So in any case, this is very easy. They will always be able to, understand it when we say. So now, masculine gender. So as I was mentioning, we will explain masculine gender, male or he word. Give examples which are familiar to children. Whenever we are introducing something, the words that can be used should be known words. So father, brother, grandfather, all that. I've just taken two examples here so that I can relate it to common gender. But otherwise, when you start talking about it, you talk about something easy to know, like cow, bull. We can always take bull, cow. You can talk of cock, hen, cock or rooster, peacock, peahen, all that. Deer may not be a very easy example to take in the beginning. Now, when we write here, one thing we should remember, we talk of lion, lioness, tiger. Explain the spelling. It is not tigeress, it is tigress. If they write like this, it is wrong. Please write this and show it as wrong. It is tigress. This is very, very important, so that they learn the spelling then and there. Yeah. Coming to feminine gender, female word or she word. You have all those things that we just mentioned. And female deer is dove. So dove and cow I have seen. Now, when they go to class 3, we start with common gender. So how do we explain that? It refers to both male and female. So here I've taken example so that, the same thing we can explain: father, masculine; mother, feminine. And if you want to take a common gender word for it, it is parent. When we say parent has come to meet, it could be mother, it could be father also. So both are parent. Same way, brother, sister, sibling. So try to take examples where children can relate easily. And here we have dear. Now, dear is also at times used as the male word. Instead of buck stag, sometimes you also see in books word dear being used for masculine gender, which is okay. So you can mention that also. Whatever is there in your book, you can accordingly follow it also. Cattle is the common gender word for bull or cow. This is now common gender onwards is for class 3 onwards. So then we have the fourth category, that is the neuter gender, non-living things. Example, you can give table, chair, it could be anything that does not have life. Okay, so these are the 4 types of gender. Now quickly, we can go for a grammar worksheet. Ready? For class 2 level, when we start with, this could be one type of question. Match the nouns in column A with the correct nouns of opposite gender in column B, which means we are talking about masculine and feminine. So there are many types of, giving this question. This need not be only match, but I just took it like that so that children generally like to do matching. So you can club in this tabular form. You can give the names of persons in terms. What I meant was like father, mother, and king and queen and brother, sister. At the same time, you can also have some animals included in it. So that's a mix of both. They need to learn both. So can anyone help me match now?
Gander goose.
Gander
Peacock,
goose.
peacock,
Gander goose.
king, queen,
King, queen,
King is queen, okay.
nephew, niece,
Nephew, niece,
emperor, empress.
emperor, empress. Empress spelling also we can explain it. Generally, some will write emperoress. That is not the way. Empress. So we can talk about that. Thank you all. Another set of questions coming your way. Replace the nouns highlighted with nouns of opposite gender. So class 3 onwards, they would have, they are very comfortable reading sentences. Now, little bit, we can increase the level. So, can someone read the first question for me, please?
The witch played
many tricks with the girls.
Okay. So, how do we change it now?
The wizard played many tricks with the boys.
Correct. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Second one, somebody else. Duke had a beautiful black horse. Duchess.
The Duchess had a beautiful black mare.
Thank you so much. Yes. Perfect. Okay. So some more. Identify the nouns in the sentences below and put them in proper place. So here, this is now for, when after we teach all 4 types of gender category, then we can give something like this so that they're able to identify the noun and also remember which category it belongs to. So, my sister likes to eat chocolates. Which are the nouns in that? That sentence, can someone tell me the nouns?
Chocolate.
Sister and chocolate. Sister will go under feminine. Chocolates will go under neuter. Neuter. Yeah. Sister will go under feminine and chocolates will go under neuter. Second one, your nephew is a good friend of mine. Nephew and nephew and friend. Will nephew go under what?
Masculine.
Masculine. Oh, yes. And friend would go under which category?
Common.
Common noun. It can be boy or girl. Yes. So, yes, it will go under common. Third one, the king and the princess were walking in the garden. How many are there in that?
King will be in masculine.
Yes.
King
and
will be feminine.
masculine, princess, feminine.
Garden will be.
That's all.
Garden will be there. Yes, garden is also there under neuter. Under neuter. Okay. Yes. The doctor examined him carefully.
Will be in common.
Doctor.
Doctor.
Common.
Common. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you all. Thank you so much for participating. Yes. So similar questions can be framed and given to children to test how much they have understood, and then we can. Now here some may write your or him, might sometimes they may write even that. So then we have to say that no, it's only nouns, not any other word, no pronouns or any other things. So doctor examined carefully. Now one more type of question I would like to give here. Can you read this? Underline the common gender nouns and circle the neuter gender nouns in the following sentences. So here we have in the same sentence two different types of nouns which they have to identify. We are not asking them to write it under any column or something. We are just asking them to. But we are only asking to identify two of them. We are not asking them to do all. So Akhil helped his grandparent to bake a cake. What are the different words there which will
Grandparent.
grandparent? Grandparent would be
Common.
and
Cake.
cake is neuter. Now, yes.
Children is
Thank you.
common.
Yeah.
Children
Okay, wait.
box.
One second. Let's go one by one. Now here, why I have given this Akhil helped his grandparent to bake a cake. Here, what I wanted to say is, in fact, that was the reason I just requested you to mute. Some children will write Akhil also, because they are so used to identifying nouns with the name of the person that some will write. So whenever we are giving some questions like this, please do questions which can little bit confuse the child also, just to make his thoughts clear, only for clearing his thoughts so that he understands. Then we can correct him, see what the question is. It is not asking masculine, it is not asking anything else. It's only asking common gender, which means it could be male or female. Akhil is masculine. So like that. In fact, that was the reason why I gave that kind of a question. Second one is straightforward. Children, common gender, and bench is the neuter gender word. Yeah. So clear, no?
Yes.
Any doubt here anywhere? Thank you, teachers. Thank you so much for participating. Can we move ahead? Are you ready for another activity? Okay. So here it. Can you see? Can you see my screen? Write and explain two activities that you would like to give to your students based on the topic nouns and gender. Yeah. So please quickly write. 5 minutes we have. It's only 9:25, 9:30. Till 9:30 we can. Two activities, please write. When you're writing the activities, don't write chart activity or something like that. You have to explain what chart activity, what is it that the child has to do. So please mention clearly what the activity is. Two different activities.
Activities for assessment or for teaching, ma'am?
activity to be given to teach the students?
No, ma'am, for teaching process or for
No,
assessment?
no, to children. What you would give to your students after you teach this topic? What kind of an activity can you give to children?
Yes, ma'am, that's what we are asking. Activities to test their comprehension, isn't it, ma'am?
So
After the chapter
are
is being taught.
Am I clear on this? 2 activities that you will give to your children after you have taught them this topic.
Oh,
Read. I'm sorry. Let me just see whether you're able to read. That will tell me whether it's visible to you also.
A long time ago, there lived a boy. named-
I have not. Okay, one sentence you've read. That's fine. Thank you, ma'am. So you're able to read. That's fine. Thank you. Okay. Here, if you see my board, I'm not sharing anything now. I'm just reading it out. After that, I'll start sharing. I just want you to know. See how I have written. A long time ago, there lived a boy named Benjamin West. Benjamin loved pictures. One day, Benjamin's mother had to go out for some work so she asked him, "Can you take care of my little sister till I come?" There is no. What's missing there? What is missing? Punctuation mark. Exactly. So, yes, when there is no punctuation, no full stop, no question mark, no capital letter, no comma, nothing at all. Is it a very meaningful sentence? Are you able to clearly get the meaning of the sentence? No. So punctuation is so important. It tells, it gives clarity to the sentence actually. So the next topic that I'm going to do here now is punctuation. Yeah. What is punctuation? Using specific marks in writing to separate words, phrases, and sentences to make the meaning clear. Yeah. So here the same. I've written some 5 lines, 5.5. So when I change this, a long ago, comma, there lived a boy named Benjamin West. What should I do here? Benjamin is the name of a person. So capital, then full stop. Next sentence is Benjamin loved pictures, full stop. Again after that, O capital, one day, comma, Benjamin's possessions. So apostrophe S, Benjamin's mother had to go out for some work. Full stop. So S capital. So she asked him, comma. Now,
please just delete, ma'am.
huh?
Not clear.
Okay, I'll write. Can, within quotes, can you take care of your little sister till I come? I, capital, question mark, quotes end. Is this now clear? Is this clear now? My screen, I've changed the position. Yeah, is it readable now? Is there anyone who is able to read my screen? You can't read?
No, ma'am. Can't see the screen.
You're unable to read? Okay, I'll stop sharing, then maybe there's a difference. 1 second.
Shall I read?
No. You now can you see?
Yes, ma'am. We can see now.
Now you can see. Maybe when I was,
I can't see, ma'am.
the connectivity is maybe not very strong. So now you can see how the sentence, those 5 sentences, when punctuated properly, how meaningful it has become. Yes, correct?
Yes.
A long time ago, there lived a boy called Benjamin West. It is taken from class 3 book only. Wonderful gift. Same reader that we are following. Benjamin loved pictures. Someone's unmute. Yeah, okay, fine. Thank you. So, when the sentence was, when those 5 lines without capital letter, without full stop, without question mark, the clarity was not there. As adults, we can make out what it was trying to convey, but for a from the child's angle, when you say, when you see, it was not at all clear. So now, when we have put all the required punctuation marks, it's very clear. So same way, to explain the importance of punctuation in class, you can also write 2-3 sentences, small paragraph, just 2 or 2.5 lines, with variety of punctuation marks in it. And then when you correct it and when you add it, the difference between the two, so that can be shown to children for them to appreciate the importance of these marks. Why we are always insisting that there should be a full stop at the end of every answer? Why there should be a question mark at the end of the question? Why should every sentence start with a capital letter? So just to explain that, I had written. There was no activity otherwise. I just wanted to write this 3-4 lines so that you know the difference between when it was not punctuated and when it is now punctuated. So now, even if you don't see my screen, it's fine. I'll just start sharing the screen. Sharing the PPT, I mean. My PPT is seen. Can you, using specific marks in writing to separate words, phrases, and sentences, and to make the meaning clear. That is the purpose behind this punctuation mark. Now, we have many punctuation marks, but from the primary angle only I have taken what we use in from classes 1 to 5. Here I want to say that I am not only talking about class 1 or 2, I am talking from 1 to 5. So I have tried to keep all those that we generally use. Capital letter, every sentence will start with a capital letter, irrespective of what kind of a sentence it is. So every sentence should begin with a capital letter. Then certain other things also, we write the first letter capital, like proper nouns, name of a person, name of a place, name of a day, name of a month, name of a festival, all those things. So that can be kept in mind. Second one, full stop. For a class 1 and 2, we will say that every sentence will end with a full stop. Because we say question will end with a question mark and sentence will end with a full stop. But later when they go to 4 and 5, there are many types of sentences that they learn. So then we have to accordingly change. So full stop at the end of every sentence. Question mark at the end of every question. When we go to 4th standard, when we talk about interrogatory sentence and declarative, imperative, there we can talk, we can mention that all declarative and imperative will have full stop at the end. Interrogative will have question marks. Exclamatory will have an exclamation mark. So till then, 1 to 3, every question will end with a question mark. Comma. Where all do we have comma? When we have to list something, I have a pen, a pencil, and an eraser. So there, after pen, before that pencil, you have to have a comma. Because you're giving now a list of things that you have. There are oranges, apples, and bananas kept in the basket. So you're giving a list of fruits. So there you will have a comma after the first. But we should always explain that there should not be a comma before and. Okay. Then we also use comma actually for when we have to pause or when we have a yes, no answer. So yes, comma, then yes, I have seen this book. whatever. So there also we use it. Exclamation mark when we have to.
We are surprised or express any emotions.
Yes. Thank you, Darshana. Expression of some emotion. Surprised or shocked or whatever. Now, exclamation mark, when we are talking, we should talk about the exclamatory sentence and those interjection words, exclamatory words, we call them wow, ouch, Alice, and all that. So there, after those words, we will have to have the exclamation mark. Yeah, that's the difference. And we have a sentence like that, so we'll talk more about it. Then we have apostrophe on top. Apostrophe mainly used for what?
For the short forms and also for the possessive nouns.
Yes.
For showing possessive.
Yes.
Belong.
Yes. So we have a lesson in class 1, Asma's house. We always, that time children don't know actually when they are in class 1. So somebody's, Asma's bag or some such word, Arun's bag or whatever. So there, the bag that belongs to him, where we have an exclamation mark. Also used for contraction, isn't it? Won't, or whatever. So 2 places that we generally use apostrophe. Then quotation marks, double quotes, single quote generally when we have name of a book or name of a train, name of something, film or something like that. Double quotes are generally to say exactly what somebody else said. We are just mentioning exact words what the other person said. Now, quotation marks, I'll just be touching upon it because we are going to have a topic on quotation marks, discussed in the coming days. So we'll not get into it direct, indirect speech. We'll be talking in detail. So we'll not do that right now much. Just a small activity. Punctuate the following sentences. I hope everyone can see my screen. My PPT is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. So, what is it?
Ajay and Vijay are brothers.
Vijay are brothers.
Capital letter, first letter capital letter.
Yes. So we have 2 names. Now I'll just write 1 or 2. Yes. Malar ma'am, can you please mute? Now, just 1 or 2 I just want to show on the board. When we are doing, we write the sentence, whatever is given, Ajay and Vijay are brothers. This is the question given. They have asked us to punctuate the following sentence. So sometimes, children, they just write full stop at the end. The question paper will only have 1 full stop. So that's not, we have to tell them that they have to rewrite the sentences. And the sentence written should be correctly punctuated. So you can use color chalk just to make it very attractive and easy for them to understand. In the question itself, you can write what all will have to be changed. Capital letter in the beginning. So here. Then this is the name, proper noun. So again here. And then at the end, full stop. And then you write it and show. As an answer, then they will be able to understand. So I generally, whenever I teach punctuation, I always use colored chalk. It helps for children to understand. Second question. When are you visiting us? Capital letter should start with a capital letter and end with a question mark. It's a question. Now the third one. Now class 1 and 2, we would have, told children about the WH type of questions and things like that. So what, when, how, where. Now here we have a sentence, how cute the cat looks. So we have to now train children that this is not a question. There is an exclamation mark that is needed here. So you have to read the questions. You have to tell children to read it and find out, is there anything asked? How cute the cat looks. No question is asked. Nothing is being asked. So it's not a question. It's just an expression of emotion actually. How cute the cat looks. So H should be capital and at the end, there is an exclamation mark. Fourth one. Yes, I visited my grandma yesterday. So here we have more than 2. What is it? First letter capital. After yes, yes or no. After that, there is always a comma. Then capital I. I will always be capital wherever it is. And then at the end, full stop. I think we should give definitely some practice with regard to I. Because children otherwise have a tendency to write I, small letter, in the middle of the sentence. Fifth one. So as you can always start with a simple sentence and then keep the sentence little, a bigger sentence with more number of things to be included. You can keep trying that. So we are traveling to Goa, Kochi and Mumbai next. Here we have so many to be done. First, capital letter, then all the places, first letter, capital letter. Then after Goa, because it's a list of places, so after Goa, comma. After Kochi, it's and. So no comma. At the end, a full stop. Next, Pony walked to Champa's house. P capital, Champa C capital. Then we have an apostrophe, possession, and finally, full stop. I'll not waste my time. It's not ill, it's I'll not waste my time. So I apostrophe L, this contraction. Just given another example with apostrophe. Waste my time. At the end, a full stop. Here, quotes, Rahul said, I will be late to school. So R capital, after said a comma, and then the quotes begin. Then first letter, again capital. At the end, full stop, and then the quotes close. So this means that this is exactly what Rahul said. One more, last one. Hooray, we scored another goal. So hooray is an interjection word. So after that, we will have the exclamation and then the rest becomes a declarative sentence. So we scored another goal. At the end, we have only a full stop. So soon after the exclamation, we start with a...
Ma'am, I have one doubt.
Yes, ma'am.
That is ninth one.
Yes.
Again.
Yeah, hooray is the interjection word.
Hooray, ma'am.
It's an exclamatory word.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
So, after the exclamatory word, yeah, hooray, wow, Alice, ouch, all these are exclamatory words. So, that itself is expressing the emotion well. So, after that word, we have the exclamation mark, and then the rest will be like a normal sentence, which will begin with a capital letter and end with a stop. That's the difference. Yeah, exclamation, when we talk about exclamatory marks, both we should be teaching children. So that's
Even
about it.
Eighth one, excuse me, even eighth one, after double quotes, the full stop should come. You have written after full stop, you have typed the double quote. In eighth one, eighth answer. Rahul said, I will be late.
No, we can put like that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay. So I wanted to take one more topic. So if you can do it quickly, we can do one more topic. You need not take time. Let's quickly discuss. Who wants to say the first one?
Shall I, ma'am?
Okay. Deepa ma'am, yes.
Yes, ma'am. We celebrate
W,
Gandhi
cap.
Jayanti on 2nd October.
Uh,
As B, W is the first letter of this sentence. W
Yes.
would be in capital letter.
Yes.
And Gandhi Jayanti, G and J would be in capital letter.
Correct.
And October month, so O will be in capital letter.
Yes.
And at last, at the end of the sentence, we will keep a full stop.
Correct, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Perfect
Thank
answer.
you.
Another person, second one.
Second one, how?
Okay, Shashikala ma'am, yes.
And second,
Second one, for
Yeah.
next we can write a cap. And then since it is a cheer, how cheerful.
Ma'am, I'm not able to hear you at all, ma'am.
Mm.
Sorry, ma'am. Can you repeat?
How cheerful, how H should be in caps.
Yes.
After that, Smita, caps. Yes,
Yes.
it should be in caps.
Yes.
And then in the end of the sentence, we have to put exclamatory mark.
Perfect, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. First, starting with D capital, then
end of the sentence with question mark.
are you traveling, ma'am? Are you traveling?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, that's why maybe I'm not able to hear you clearly. I can hear the horn, but
Okay.
yeah. Sorry, ma'am. I'm not able to hear you well. Yamini, ma'am, you wanted to say?
Ma'am, may I?
Okay. I had seen Yamini, ma'am, asking actually. That's the reason I took her name. Okay, anybody else can say.
Ma'am, I should.
Third one, ma'am.
Arul, yes.
Swami. Swami, S should be capital. Swami and friends, F also is capital. By R dot, K dot, and Narayanan, N should be capital. And at the end, full stop.
Okay. I love the book Swami and Friends by R.K. Narayan. You said I capital, Swami, Friends, S, F capital, R.K. capital, N capital, at the end full stop. Is that what you said?
Ma'am, there will be single quotes also.
Is that what? Yeah.
R dot and K dot, ma'am.
Yeah. But you have missed one thing, ma'am. Swami and Friends, which should be having one single quote. It's the name of a book. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yeah. That also to be added. Yeah. I know you just missed it. That's all. There are so many things, so you just missed it. Fifth one.
Ma'am, fifth
Someone-
one.
N should be capital.
Mega N must be capital, ma'am.
Comma.
Yeah.
N is in capital and full stop, ma'am.
M should be capital, ma'am.
Quotes.
House is in Chennai.
be in quotes.
Yes. My house is in Chennai should be in quotes. Chennai C should be capital. Yes.
Then full stop.
Yes. Okay. Fine. Okay. So this need not be done. Can I take 5 more minutes? That's okay, right? What's the time? Yeah, we still have time. So we'll quickly go to the next topic also, ma'am. Teachers, may I?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. So two activities you have to post, but yeah, we
Okay, ma'am.
avoided the writing of this. That's how we saved some time. So what is this message writing? Just taking a writing skill, one topic from writing skill, message writing. Don't look at my board. It has got nothing to do. It's just the old one. So what do we actually, why do we have to write message? Children, when we ask children about why do we have to write message, they will say that, ma'am, we can always send it through WhatsApp, ma'am. So that answer we can expect, but still we have to explain to them the importance of message writing. Yeah. Why do we have to have, what is actually message writing?
Message that can be given in short.
Yes,
where
it has
we
to be
want
given in
go for
short.
where we can.
Actually, we write a message. We write a message when we, when we are not going to see or talk to the person whom we are conveying something. Yeah, that's when we write a message for him. You are not seeing that person. You are not going to talk to that person. You are not able to talk, whatever. So that's when you leave a message for him. Now, the questions can be asked in two ways. One is they will give you a telephonic conversation between two people, and the message has to be derived from that. From there, we can get the message. Another one is from the question, the test angle I'm saying, examination point. The other thing is when the message as such is given, write a message to so-and-so regarding this or whatever, saying this. So actually the second one is relatively easy. When you are given a teleconversation, then it takes time because you have to read it, understand who's called, whom is the call made, who has picked, so many things you have to understand, and then frame a message. A message, whenever we are framing a message, you should remember on top, you will write on top, middle portion message. Then below that, but rest everything will start from the left side. So you have the date. Below that, you have who was called. No, below the date, you will write whom is this message for? Whom are you writing it to? Maybe your brother or whoever. Then in the message part, you will write first, you will write who was called. If it's a telecon, so-and-so called, then the short message. And finally, your name, the writer's name, writer of the message, who is leaving the message. So this is how it would look, the format of a message. Now, very important message at the end of writing the message, please put that in the box. Message has to be in the box. Yeah. So box form. If children sometimes they write, they draw the box first and then they write. We need not encourage that because sometimes they may not be able to think how much space is needed. So they may just, go ahead and write beyond the box. So it's better that they write it first and then draw a box. But drawing a box is so important. It has marks. So draw a box. You have to explain. The message has to be short. That also means. You write message on top. Everything else will start from the left. Date, the receiver of the message, then the person who called and the brief message. In the conversation, there will be many things, they may have explained certain things. All that is not needed. The message has to be short. So what is needed, what is relevant, that alone needs to be written. And then you sign it off, that is the writer's name. And draw a box, and that's it. Any doubt in this? This is generally given for class 4 or class 5. We don't have message writing as an option before that. As a writing skill, this is a writing skill that is tested from class 4 onwards. So 4 also and 5 also we deal with this. Very important to explain that even the box has marks, small, half mark or whatever. So that is very, very important. So I repeat, they can write on top the message, everything else to the left side, date, receiver's name, that is whom the message is. The message is for whom? Receiver's name. Below that, who called? If it's a telecon, who called? So-and-so called, then he conveyed whatever the message. And below that, the one who is writing the message. Not the one who called, the one who is writing this message for him. That person's name. In some cases, what happens is, the question will say, imagine you are so-and-so. Imagine you are Arun. And write a message to your mother, whatever. Then you cannot write your name. Because the question says, imagine you are Arun, then the writer has to be Arun. So you can, when we give examples for message writing in class, we can give with teleconversation, without that, and one which has like this, imagine you are so-and-so and write. Just to train children all the ways. Yeah, clear enough?